Yeah, I think even within the generations, they need feedback delivered differently. You could have a baby boomer that has maybe a way of thinking, but you're onboarding them into your company. And because you're onboarding them into your company, they need a different level. They need direct feedback. Why? Because they don't know how to do the job. They don't know what they don't know. Adversely, you could have, somebody that maybe is in my generation who's been with your company 25 years and is a peak performer. Well, regardless of their generation, direct feedback most likely isn't going to work on that person. You have a peak performer with high tenure. Where do you go? You go collaborative because you're helping them lead themselves to an answer. But the root of it, whether it's generational or within generational, is earning the right. I get my big break at Cintas. I'm a truck driver. I'm picking up dirty clothes and dropping off clean clothes. And man, I mean, we had a 401k, Will. We had, profit sharing at this company. I mean, I came from poverty. I was getting paid $400 a week, by the way, and life was good. I mean, I was crushing it. But I saw these guys that would run around the office, and they wore real shiny shoes, and they drove these fancy cars. You probably heard of them. They're called Honda Accords. And I was like, who are these guys? And I was told they were salespeople. And I'm like, well, I can do that. I was, a top ranking truck driver. I was winning awards. I was doing well. Certainly, this is the next step. I get my big break in sales. I did get that Honda Accord. And I had the most amazing leader to show me the way on how to become a great salesperson. And this is a guy that would pull me in even after working hours and role play with me, teach me how to do prospecting calls, teach me how to overcome objections. He would jump in the car with me and go on sales calls and give me coaching in the car of what went well and what didn't. He would take some of my sales calls and let me observe him. He got to know me. He got to know my background, some of the challenges that our family was facing. This is a guy that took me into the men's room and taught me how to tie a Windsor knot, taught me what a collar stay was. I didn't know what those fancy little metal things were that went in there. This is a guy that took me to Joseph A. Bank and taught me the difference between a suit coat and a sport coat, and that your belt and shoes should match. This is a guy that was going above and beyond making deposits into me because he was getting a ball of clay. And I was having some really good success my rookie year. And one morning I was getting ready to go to my first sales call, and I got a call from my dad, which was, you need to get to the hospital. Now, look, I had gotten that call many times, but just like all the other times, I did what I always did, which was I went to the hospital because mom was not well and she's in intensive care. But this morning it was different, Will, because this morning was the last morning that I would get to hold my mom. And she passes at the young age of 48 years old. It rocked me. We were just looking at homes in neighborhoods to get them out of the one bedroom apartment kind of life. I was having success. They were never going to have to cut a pill in half again to get to the next copay. And I went into a really, really dark place. I lost motivation, didn't care much about the Joseph A. Bank ties and the Honda Accord. I lost it. My results slipped. This went on for a few weeks. And my boss came in, brought me into his office, and he opened the conversation by saying these words: enough's enough. Enough is enough. My heart breaks that your mom has passed, but you have an 18-month-old son. You've told me why success is important to you, and you have a family that is counting on you to win. And you're one of the best prospects that I've had on my team in a long time. You have so much potential, and I'm not going to let you throw it away. He said, but you do have a choice. You can either do and become who I know you can be, or if you continue down this road, you won't be on my team. Now, firm feedback. The old Jeff, the 18-year-old renegade, rebellious guy, would have said, you're not going to tell me what to do. Have a great life. And I would have stormed out in rage. But I knew what this guy was saying was coming from a place of love and accountability. And he was right. Now, that's a hard conversation to have. But think about what has happened since that day. I went on to take 11 promotions. I've started my own company. I've published a book. I don't say that to be braggadocious, but what I think about many times and have gotten emotional often about it is, what if he didn't? What would my life look like right now? And let me just challenge the leader listening. There are people counting on us to show up and deliver feedback in a way that can transform lives. We are all a product of the feedback we've been given or the feedback that's been missing. That's who we are. And the gift of feedback, when we earn the right, we set clear expectations, and we earn the right to give the hard feedback, it can literally catapult somebody to their potential. But what if we don't? What if we don't do this well? It could have cost me who I am today. And that's why it's so important.